This guy was shot for scoring a goal for the USA at the World Cup. The guy's name was Andrés, and this all started when he was 20. In 1987, Andrés signed for his hometown football club, Atlético Nacional. He was a great defender, and he proved it over and over again. But Andrés had a problem. He was from a country where drug lords were often more powerful than politicians. Even Atlético Nacional, the club he played for, had a notorious drug lord named Pablo as one of its financiers. More than once, Andrés and his teammates were asked to play exhibition matches at this drug lord's private ranch. But Andrés hated all of this. He wanted out, but he needed time to showcase his talent at the highest level and eventually earn an opportunity in Europe. Then, in 1989, something happened. Atlético Nacional won the prestigious Copa Libertadores, making them champions of South America. This brought fame and fortune to Andrés and his teammates. Soon after, the national team gave him an opportunity, and by the early 1990s, he had become the captain of the national team. Then, in 1993, the Colombian national team became one of the most exciting sides in the world. During qualification for the USA '94 World Cup, they destroyed Argentina 5-0 on their own turf in Buenos Aires. People started tipping Colombia as one of the favorites to win the World Cup. Even the great Pelé believed they would do well. But back home, there was a lot of gambling going on, and in December 1993, the drug lord who had helped finance Atlético Nacional was taken down by government forces. His death created even more instability and chaos in the country. Then came the 1994 World Cup. Many Colombians expected the team to go far, and that expectation came with a lot of money being wagered on their success. Under immense pressure, Colombia suffered a shocking 3-1 defeat to Romania. After the match, things got even worse. The players' hotel rooms were flooded with death threats. Cartel syndicates and powerful gamblers, who had wagered millions on the tournament, hacked into the team's hotel television monitors
to display ominous warnings. The manager, Francisco Maturana, was told that if he played veteran midfielder Gabriel Gomez, the entire squad would be murdered. Of course, no coach wants to be murdered, so he benched Gomez. Then, on June 22, 1994, Colombia faced the host nation, the United States. They desperately needed a win. In the 34th minute, while trying to defend a dangerous cross into Colombia's penalty box, Andrés tracked back and slid aggressively to block the ball. But the ball deflected off his foot and rolled past his wrong-footed goalkeeper. Andrés had just scored an own goal against his own team. Colombia went on to lose the match 2-1 to the USA, and Colombia crashed out of the tournament. Most of the players stayed away from Colombia for a while, but Andrés went back home. He even wrote a newspaper column asking fans to stay calm and reminding them that life doesn't end here. On the night of July 1st, 1994, just 5 days after returning to Colombia, Andrés decided to go out with friends to clear his head. They visited the El Indio nightclub. Inside the club, a group of guys began heckling him and shouting insults, mockingly yelling, "Own goal!" Apparently, these men had lost a massive fortune betting on the World Cup match. Andrés eventually left the nightclub alone and got into his car in the parking lot. But these guys wouldn't leave him alone. They followed him outside, surrounded him, and continued hurling insults at him. Andrés tried to explain that it had been an honest mistake. Then, suddenly, the bodyguard of one of the men pulled out a gun. Pop, pop, pop. The shots struck Andrés, and he collapsed beside his car. The men then sped away in a Toyota pickup truck. A short time later, Andrés was found by friends lying in a pool of blood. He was rushed to the hospital, but just 45 minutes later, he was pronounced dead. The news shocked both Colombia and the international football community. People demanded the arrest of everyone involved. Humberto Muñoz later confessed to being the man who unalived Andrés. He was sentenced to 43 years in prison, but in 2005, he was released for good behavior, meaning he served only 11 years of that sentence. And that's the story of how a footballer became one of the most tragic figures in World Cup history.